Hi, everyone. It's Norman Koshak. I'm very early. I'm about a good 20 minutes earlier than actually 16 minutes earlier than I expected to be. But I've started early because lunch has actually fallen in the match between England and India. And of course, England have yet again shown their wares of being able to come back in the match, not unlike what they did with New Zealand, although it's still a little bit early. They haven't quite done a lot. They were halfway there. They've lost 6 wickets in the process. India were all out for 416, which was a commendable effort, especially Bumrah's 35 off one over off the bowling of Stuart Broad. But in fact, the efforts of India were such that Rishabh Pant did a Bairstow in a way, where he got 146 or some 111 balls, 19 fours and 4 sixes. And then, of course, Ravindra Jadeja backed him up with a further 104 runs in his innings. And they finished an amazing total after 84.5 overs, or 84.5 overs of 416. With the leading wicket taker there, James Anderson did a magnificent job. He got 5 for 60 yet again. Another 5-wicket haul for James Anderson. He's still going strong. Ably supported by Matthew Potts, Broad and Root chipped in as well. But that led to England going into bat. And England, of course, fell early to Bumrah, both Lees, Crawley, and even ultimately Ollie Pope. All three of them fell for very ordinary scores, leaving England at a situation where they're 3 for 44 at one stage. But then in come Joe Root. He certainly picked up the pace somewhat, scored 30 over, then he was out as well. That left the likes of Bairstow with Leach. Leach fell the last 5 balls. England won 5 for 83. But a bit of a resurgence again from Ben Stokes today in this first session of day plays. The rain has actually started, as you know, if you've been watching. And Johnny Bairstow is 91 of 113 balls. So he actually started a little bit slowly, but he certainly has picked up his pace. He's at 12 fours and 2 sixes, and he's 91, heading for yet another century. He's in a purple patch of purple patches at the moment. Hi, Robin M. How will England go? I think they're still, they're still way behind. They're still good 216 runs behind. But I do think that with Bairstow still there, they're in with a pretty good chance of carving that score up quite successfully. So Bairstow on 91, Ben Stokes unfortunately got out for 25 to a very good catch by Bumrah off the bowling of Thakur. Of course, Thakur and Bumrah himself had dropped some easy ones just earlier on, but Ben Stokes looked great. But in fact, Johnny Bairstow looks even greater. Now he's been joined by Sam Billings, who's ably there on 7. Really only got Potts, Broad, and Anderson to go after that. So you would argue that there's not much in the batting department to follow, but they are now 6 for 200. Really is up to whether Bairstow can be there for a lot longer. If Bairstow can double his score, I think England will therefore be in with a pretty good chance of somewhat leveling this match. Now, of course, England really, or at least India, are very keen to win this, or at least draw the match at the very least, because if they do so, they won the series quite comfortably, albeit from last year, the 4 tests that we saw being played last summer, which was a very good series. Very different England side then, of course. Sam Heslett, how are you? Johnny Bairstow and Usman Khawaja both are really good form. They certainly are, Sam. Usman Khawaja is in sterling form. He's proven it yet again in Sri Lanka. He got 71 as opposed to the 77 that Green got. But Usman Khawaja is in amazing form. Yeah, they're talking about also in that match, they're talking about Travis Head and his 4 wickets. Take my hat off. He bowled pretty well, but conditions did suit him. Yes, so Johnny Bairstow, incredible form. And so normally is Ben Stokes. So they're in very fortunate. Ollie Pope was good in the previous test match as well. So Bumrah's bowled well. He's taken 3 wickets and one each to Shami, Siraj, and of course Thakur. So it's pretty evenly spread there. But yeah, well, evenly poised, you would argue, still in India's favour. India takes a wicket or 2 more and they could well have a massive lead. Why not chase early for Jadeja and forget Riley, despite unreliably knocking off Johnny? Yeah. I mean, Johnny Bairstow is really, and Jadeja also scored a magnificent century. There's no doubt about that as a support phase for punt. Now, yeah, look, Wimbledon's obviously going on at the moment in England. We've got various other cricket tournaments happening around the world. Australia will play Sri Lanka yet again on July 8th, which is still 4 or 5 days away. But yeah, it's the same name as the Heat player and BBL as far as Sam Hislop. Obviously, I don't think it is Sam Hislop, but is it Sam? You need to tell us who you actually are. Are you really the real Sam Hislop or not? Alim Dar there and Richard Kettleborough are the umpires. Marius Erasmus is a TV umpire for this match. He was in the previous match between England and New Zealand. He was the actual umpire. So David Boone is the match referee. Good old David Boone. So pretty impressive structure. So look, again, India didn't start off brilliantly. Pujara only got 13, Gill 17, and Bahari 20. Kohli once again didn't do that well. He got 11. So okay, we got here. Do you think what Kohli did result? A little bit. That could be right there. Mr. Viner, right, predicting England's score. England's score, well, it all comes down to how well Bairstow plays. But I would argue that England will be very, very happy if they get 300, I reckon. Good evening, Paul Newman. Again, it's not the real Paul Newman, is it? Unless you're talking for the growth. So yes, guys, I haven't been on the last few nights, as most of you know. I've been a little bit busy with a fortunate, unfortunate moment in my life. My mother obviously passing away. We had the cremation yesterday. We had a service at a lovely cemetery called Waverley Cemetery. It rained, yes, but it was still a lovely day with everybody there, the whole family. And yeah, we had a bit of a full day of activity. And today we've had most of the daytime I've been spending time going through wardrobes, picking up old clothing and looking at photos as well. So, Paul, you reckon a draw will be most likely? Well, it is day 3, and the rain seems to be the real factor here. And if it is a draw, it'll suit India right down the ground. Weather has been terrible as it has. Yes, it has been. It's been shocking. Hello, I am. Hello, how are you? I think India will win the series 3-1 or 2-1. The series we're talking about, the 4 tests last series and this series. What is the tally at the moment? Can someone tell me the tally? Is it already? It's 2-1, isn't it? Do you feel like Stokes was overconfident? His shot was poor. A little bit, but that's the way that England are batting these days. So it's not surprising. Nobody was upset with his batting performance. So who can tell me what the series? It's 2-1, isn't it? I'm just not sure offhand. It was a year since the first 4 test matches were played. Hello, sir. Has Satendra Kumar Singh? Yes, Paul. You're right. It was in fact. I thought it was 2-1. Love from India. Got India love. India's full of love. They're still playing. India playing particularly well. Everybody was suggesting that England would not win this match India would not win this match because of lack of form or lack of batch practice. But in fact, India have taken great hold of this match. And again, people do knock Rishabh Pant. They got 146. The guy is still a masterstroke player. And again, Jadeja, what great support now. We always talk about why Ashwin wasn't selected, and Jadeja was. In fact, Ashwin was not selected because Jadeja is clearly a better, more prominent all-rounder with his batting, can bowl quite well, and he also fields brilliantly. But I think his batting is the key. He's proven it again with a century here. Shreyas Iyer didn't get going. Yeah, the rest of the batters, except for, of course, Jasprit Bumrah has won over 35 runs off Broad. It was incredible. So AC Videos is sensing a second innings collapse of India. Yeah, well, wait and see, won't we? At the moment, England are the ones having to get 216 more runs to make it an even keel. The weather updates, as far as I can see, they were actually still seeing what the story was in terms of weather. The weather's not much better. India should look to take a 150 lead, and then instead of taking around 450, and they'll win the match. I kind of agree with those stats. Do you predict Aussie will make it 2-0? That's for the Australia-Sri Lanka series. Sri Lanka played so badly in the first match, you would think they could win nothing. But stranger things have happened. But I originally predicted 1-1. I'm half right. It's 1-0 at the moment. Yeah, I fear that Australia might win the whole series, but it'll be great for Australia. They'll be in the World Test Championship. They're still going to play in India, but it's a great boost for Australia to be. They do win 2-0. England missed Sam Curran. He's like what Australia's Kane Green can do. Well, Sam Curran Yeah, he's been injured quite a bit of late too. I would argue they've got someone called Jamie Overton there who can certainly play bat and bowl as well. So wouldn't discount him in that role. He should have been in this match, but he wasn't. They brought Anderson back in to partner Broad, and yeah, that was Anderson, Broad, Potts, Leach, Stokes, and Root all bowled. You could argue that Anderson coming back in at the expense of Anderson was a bit unusual. Anderson coming back in at the expense of Overton was a bit unusual. So Jamie Overton's certainly proven he got 97 with a bat and looked bloody fantastic. Now, I was meant to start at 10 my time, which is 1 o'clock England time, but it looks as though the early staging of the match, because of rain, has stopped they've taken lunch break to cover that period. So let's just see. Shubman Gill and Pujara, are they both worthy of opening? What was the likes of Agarwal a better choice? My question is exactly that. I would have probably preferred Agarwal to open, but that's just me. Jadeja hasn't even bowled yet. Well, he didn't need to, Paul. He scored a century with his batting. And so far, the bowling of India's been quite sound. Bumrah getting the 3 early wings, and Shami, Suraj, and Thakur all pitching in, despite a couple of drop catches. They've all pitched in. So, yeah, it's interesting. At this point in time, they haven't needed them. They're 6 for 200. England have just not got their act together. Other than Bairstow's 91 so far, looks like he's going to score yet another century. Quite an impressive start to this match, as has been the whole series with New Zealand that Bairstow had. Ahmed Raza has joined us. Norman said the best form of defence is to attack, and Bairstow is looking dangerous and ferocious. And on the other hand, Virat Kohli must have controlled his aggression. Yeah, well, perhaps, but I would argue that the aggression of Kohli is never a problem, as long as he is able to perform when he bats. England's openers are pathetic. Well, I would agree with the way that Crawley's been batting, but Lees has been pretty admirable. I wouldn't necessarily say he's batted badly at all. So how are we going with the time-wise now? If they would normally have gone to lunch in 4 minutes' time. How do you think Pakistan will go in India? Oh, England will go in. Sorry, how will England go in Pakistan? How will England go in Pakistan? See if I can read that properly. Look, as did Australia, they struggled early on. A bit of an adjustment for England to make, but I do think that England will perform admirably, especially with their attacking phase. But Pakistan are very good at home. Australia beat them, but I don't think it was necessarily a convincing, crushing victory. It's hard to say. I would say that England will probably have a fairly even series, and I believe Pakistan will be up one from them. It's very important for Pakistan to win because they would like to keep their chances up for the World Test Championship, whereas England haven't got that motivation. They're not really there. So I'm favouring Pakistan somewhat. But, yeah, you never know. England has done very well of late against New Zealand now to an extent in this match. Could well be an interesting challenge for England and Pakistan. I think they're capable of doing it. Dom Sibley, Crawley, Haseeb Mohammed, Rory Burns are all a big flop. Yeah, and I'm not only joke. I was going to say England. Yeah, it's true. England has been a bit disappointing with their openers. I'll give you that. Certainly. Let's see what the story is here regarding this match. This match it should have been played last year, and I still maintain that. I don't believe that there's any reason for it not to have been played then. So yeah, we'll have this wait. So let's have a look. So commentary, the weather has been rather intermittent. I'll just see if I can see what the story. We've had a very tiring few nights, guys. Yeah, Johnny Bairstow was certainly the key to this for England. Let's have a look here. Must watch. Nope. There we are. So I'm calling this the lunchtime review. and more or less a recap of yesterday as well. If you removed Corley Twistington, he's played for England. Well, Sam, you're probably right there, but I think he's still got a bit in him. Norman Sir, Alex Lees has no technique. They wouldn't have selected Roy Burns instead of him. Yeah, they're favouring Lees in the series. They're not by any means saying that he's unplayable. But I'm not saying he's not a player that's playing out of his skin. He's playing quite normally, but quite frankly, he's the only one they've got at the moment. They've got a lot of depth in that opening spot, and they're not going to retrograde their step and go back and put in Rory Burns at this stage anyway. Do you think South Africa will be able to defeat England and Australia in the Test series? South Africa and England will be. I think England will win that, and I actually think Australia will also win. I don't think South Africa are as good as what they've had or been playing of late. I think there's been a bit of a how can I put it? A bit of an overinflated discussion on how well they're playing. I don't think they're anywhere near the quality of the play at all. I would say they're far from the best team, and I think Australia and England should give them a nice old smacking. Martel said the full-length Puerto Rican problem, his back was as poor. No, well, perhaps. Look at Lee's back left hit position. It looks ugly, to be honest. Yeah, I do get your point. But he's also played some good shots amongst it as well, so I wouldn't totally discount him. Let's have a look here. Terence Aldrin has joined us. You're saying that another flat pitch depends on Tucker and Deja. Well, there's a few that can win it. Brummer's significant in his captaincy as well. He's been absolutely fantastic, so I wouldn't discount him at all. Let's have a look here. Let's see if I can look at the game as it stands now. England have stolen many players from several countries. What do you mean from South Africa, for example? Australia's done the same. Labershane's that background. Can't knock him at all. So, Johnny Bairstow, is he walking off? The moment India is cruising well, they're on top, no doubt, and deservedly so. Let's wait and see how they end up. So, what do you think of these lunchtime discussions, guys? Do you like them now rather than before and after? I mean, I'll try and do them generally before, but I've had a couple of busy days in my own personal life. That is, a mother's funeral is never a fun time. What is Australia's next series? After Sri Lanka? They've got some home series. I think Zimbabwe or something coming over. And then we're going to go on to India, the World Cup. Then you got the Test series against both South Africa and the West Indies happening in Australia. So, yeah. How's my health, sir? Why are you asking that? I mean, I'm maybe a little bit tired, a bit unshaven, but I'm feeling okay. Why are you asking, Ahmed? Tired. I'm certainly tired, that's for sure. Commercial breaks on. Let me get a score update. Yeah, the match is still delayed by rain. They haven't come back from any break at this point. India Australia 4-match Test series in India. It will be interesting. Yes, certainly will be. Certainly will be. Johnny Bairstow was not out 91, partnered by Sam Billings on 7 not out. And then you have, of course, in counter-attack to Rishabh Pant's 146 and Jadeja 104. So those two batsmen get similar runs. We might be in with the score well over 300 and getting close to 400. But at this point, I would say that England will be very happy if they get anywhere near 300. Because we are looking a bit bewildered. Well, I am a bit because I'm looking very ragged, guys, because I've had some very big days and nights sorting out a cremation and then trying to get a bit of sleep in between and cleaning up the rooms and taking old stuff out. So, yeah, it's been a little bit of madness of late. India also coming to Australia for a 5-test late in 2020. Okay, 2024. That's getting closer and closer to, isn't it? It's not next year, it's the year after. I'll be there for that. Very interesting indeed. Excuse me, but I'm not tired, so let's see if the programming is showing any evidence of. Still waiting for the match to restart. So, interesting how you're coming to Australia for a 5-test match series in 2024, 2025, I'm guessing. What's the reason England selectors not playing Tom Haynes and Sam Curran? Well, Tom Haynes, I don't know why, but Sam Curran, as far as I'm aware, was injured, so that's the reason why he's not playing. But they'll get their Guernseys before too long. Wickets are still covered, as I can see. Doesn't change at all, guys. King Richard. King Coley is a personified charismatic personality, as well as really loves it. His vocalist. Yes, he's a character. He carried on today a bit like a pork chop, but in good manner. Good spirits. So I can't offer you any more play at the moment because we have got the wickets covered. It's not as the umpires are out in the field, including the third match referee, I think it is, with the staff there. They're holding on to the other field. Are they about to lift it up, or are they putting it back down? I'm not sure what they're doing. Certainly, as Alim Dar, I can see Richard Kettleborough and the so-called match referee. And they're probably working out whether they should regain play. People are holding the pitch up. India needs just one wicket, and the batters coming will be Potts, Anderson, Broad. You're right. Definitely Ben have been big series coming against them, Bellborough, New Zealand. Yes. Showing a picture of Elton John. I constantly think there may have been last year, even, or it certainly wasn't early this year, I should say, when I'm sure he was talking about Shane Warne. Had a few deaths this year. We've had Shane Warne, we've had Dean Jones earlier than that. You've had Rod Marsh, you've had obviously the likes of Andrew Simons, and then you've had Edith Kochenek as well. She passed away. So my mother's adding to that list, unfortunately. Has the match started? Well, today it certainly has. They had some overs, and Bairstow's on 91 now. Ben Stokes was out for, I think it was 20 out. I can't remember the exact score. And then Sam Billings has joined Bairstow, and they're not out at the moment. So we're talking to Katie Reeves, the daughter of Bob Willis. Bob Willis, of course, has passed away. Another person, I think he passed away as well. It's been a year ago, passed away. Broad shot, Bumrah rocked. He certainly did. Sadiq. Bumrah hitting 35 off one over. Helped by a few wides and no balls. Mind you, but still did the job. Barrows Broad endlessly. So Bob Willis with his daughters, and looks like one son. Yeah, very sad when you lose cricketers, or anyone for that matter. My mother was 90 and a half years of age, so yeah, that's a good innings in any form of cricket, 90 and a half. I'm sure I'll be pretty happy with that. Pakistan versus England Test Series is going to be worth watching. Absolutely. I'm hoping to have a good long look at that. When does that start? When does that series start? Pakistan versus England. Well, there's only a one-off test here between England and India, which was from last year, as a matter of fact. They had 4 tests last year, and now it's down to the 1 this year. Whether in Edgbaston is no different. It's going to be wet and drizzly all day. There may be not much play today, which will probably head for a draw, but let's hope there's a bit more play. Okay. Showing Bob Willis with his daughter. England now 6 for 200. Day 3 into the first session, and unfortunately called lunch early. Rain still has prevented a return to the game. And there's a Bob Willis fund that's in amongst, I believe, the cause or something similar that he actually suffered from. Why the test matches are played in England in the months of June, July, only there is rain and watch. Okay, maybe it will be the case. My top test 11. Sam Heslett. We've got Kawaja, Warner, Root, Azam, Bairstow, Punt, Jadeja, Cummins, Bumrah, Lyon, and Shahida. Not bad. Bairstow and Billings are the last recognised pair for England. They need to give some bombastic performances to save England from a shambolic defeat. Well, no, I don't know if it's shambolic just yet. These guys get more than 100 runs. They're brought up to a similar scoreline. But yeah, you're right. Fair point. 6 for 200. It's not a flash score. Not a flash score at all. I don't mind how players have funds, as in charitable funds, but there's got to be a limit to all this. They can't have funds all the time. There's got to be someone's got to take the lead on that, and not always have every Tom, Dick, and Harry with a fund. I mean, every cricketer doesn't. They're not worthy of having a fund, in my opinion. A little bit too much sometimes. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to ask my son whether he can get me a cup of tea. Coffee. Can you put in the hot water? Christopher, can you? I've got some hot water. Can you get me a cup of coffee, please? He's been looking through old photos. He's found himself as a baby, more like what's the word for it? Like a premature baby almost. Yeah. Well, I can't put that in. He's giving me some Makona coffee here. Good brand. White Makona coffee. I need a cup to put it in. Yeah. I'm not going to guzzle out of the coffee cup. Thank you. Test cricket at these best 2 top teams will in New York play this. Yeah, that's true. So that's been announced.
A good cup to be using for your show.
There we go. We've got a show cup with the Bat and Ball in Hamilton. Beautiful old place. I visited there. In fact, I played there too. And what are you saying? The dates haven't been announced for the Pakistan India series? Oh, I thought they were announced. Coffee there. There we are. I'm being so like I'm at a restaurant here. Christopher Thompson, Kochnek Thompson.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? No milk.
We've got some chocolate biscuits.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for cricket to start. I've got to have some chocolate biscuits, don't I, guys? This will be in his 5th Test series win in England. There we go. But Emerson, Swapnil won. Who will win in England? My opinion. Well, you would have to think at this stage India are in the box seat to at least draw, if not win. Punt, ball. There we go. I like that. Rowan Coley's joined us, and he was here before actually. So, punt, ball versus Baz ball. That's a funny way. I like that. I like you should patent that. It's probably your turn. Can you do me a favour, Christopher? Just this needs some more water and milk. I'm asking for. We've got milk then. Gee, waiters are pretty poor around the Kochnek household. Yeah. Bloody. They give me biscuits without milk, and I don't know what's going on. All sorts of stuff missing here. He's all over the place. I won't be hiring him again. There we go.
He doesn't get paid enough.
He doesn't get paid enough. Well, I hope he doesn't get paid at all. That's probably the way it should be, shouldn't it? Some shouldn't be paid. All right. I've got my chocolate biscuits here. There we go. You can see Christopher putting his hand in front of the screen. Poor camera work. Obviously, failed camera work score. Do I think the punt would be as good as Adam Gilchrist? Well, Paul, from a batting perspective, certainly. From a bowling and a keeping perspective, no reason why punt can't be as good. Johnny Bairstow versus India. Well, I guess it's a fair way of putting it, but also Johnny Bairstow, Ben Stokes, James Anderson versus India. Steve, I think he'll get a century first. He's only one. I reckon 180, right? Very important for him to keep batting. As long as he's a batsman at the other end, 180. Who will rock India? Oh, I think India. I didn't think that before the test match. I actually thought that England would do very well, so. Bairstow certainly is. Do I think Anderson will surpass 800 wickets? No. He'll be pushing to beat St. Lawrence 708, actually. I don't think he'll go much further than that. He's looking 5 for, yes, he did take 5. That's very good. No. He won't get past 800. England team was scheduled to tour Pakistan from September to December 2022 to play 3 test matches and 720 internationals. But, of course, in October and November, there's the World Cup in Australia, so I don't think the draw will be from September to October, and maybe, well, I think maybe after. Anderson might struggle in Pakistan. Why? Yeah, he probably will. He probably will. I don't think he's. Yeah, I think he'll get that many wickets there. Well, then you get early wickets after rain. Well, we'll soon find out they're actually taking off most of the covers. I see the one centre squares cover, but the rest is opened. Did I see Holland and Murphy played because Sri Lanka? John Holland is in the squad. Murphy is not. And Getmore scored. India to plus. India have scored 400 runs. Is that what it means, Sharad? Or yeah, they have. They've scored 416. At the moment, England is 200 for only 6 wickets down. So you would think that India will get England out for less than 300, and they'll be in a healthy lead. That all comes down to getting out Bairstow. Paul, you know my answer. You know my answer to this, don't you? My answer is very much that I have most wickets going. They may not be dropping Travis Head, though, which does upset me. You know what I really should have done to that person, don't you? Christopher. I really should have. You know what I should.
Yeah,
I really should have.
This is how.
No, don't get. What's he doing putting a girl? That was a girlfriend I had back in the 1980s. Let's should show you, but it's from my phone. I'll say me in Germany in 1992. See that, guys? Can you believe it? Come on screen, Christopher. That's me in 1992. This is me in.
If it wasn't for this girl, I wouldn't be alive. True.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
But no, she fucked you up enough that you went back to Australia.
I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that's Chris is trying to give her the blame. I think she wasn't actually there that day. I can assure you, she was not there. There's my mum. In boring Brisbane.
Is that in Brisbane? Oh.
And it's on Well, that's on Mount Kuta. Ooh, exciting. And there's my mother and my brother, both no longer here. Damn it. Not what I want to hear.
Yeah.
All right. Paul Newman, no chance. Like Ash's bowl, take 6-7, and they work hand the spot in the next one. Well, it comes down to horses. Look, horses, two guys, don't forget. Ferrari in lead 2 to 400 plus. Yeah, I think they could well, it can't be more than 200. India versus England, India versus Australia, Australia versus England are always high class. Yes, you would hope they would be. They're 3 very high class teams. My blonde hair, very pretty. Where's my blonde hair? Give me a good looking thing.
Where's the other one they had?
Oh,
With both of you standing there on the thing.
No, we'll get.
Where is it?
Somewhere. Let me get these Filipino photos.
Did you show them that one?
Yeah, but that's not me with the blonde. Where's the one with the Christopher? Where are you doing all these photos? You've moved them all. Oh, I can't find them. There's me with my girlfriend in Germany. Well, I got chicken pox that day. Not from her. All right. Still waiting for England. The restart is meant to be 1:30, which is 10 minutes time from what I can gather. Where's that one with me when I was the young one looking?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find.
God,
it must have been put back there.
Why did you keep moving them?
No, I didn't. I'm going to put the useless ones elsewhere.
Here's me in 1990. There's me again. That's me. That's me in Germany. Can you see that? That's me there. 27th of June, 1992. It was warm.
All these
There's my blonde hair. Got blonde hair there. So a big stick of something. All right. Whereas home track bullies Ashwin, well, I don't think he's worthy of the position at the moment. I mean, he is worthy of the position, yes, but in today's it was horses for courses better suited to England. What is your views on Virat and Bursa head up to that? Nothing. Bit of banter. Who cares? They're good fun. Is subcontinent pictures are not good for test series IEC should think about this. No, I think it's okay the way it is. Ashwin's not a home track bully. Well, some people do call him that. More Ashwin gets more in a test match because, okay, he is a rock star. He's 8th in the ranking of test match wickets. Ashwin takes 13 wickets in the last series. Look, Ashwin could easily have played this match. I'd have no qualms about that. He's not. And on the basis of that, you've got Jadeja in the sub. I still like when they play both of them together, and they obviously do that a lot in India, but they could easily do it elsewhere as well. And yep. Who will win the test, India or England? Ashwin's home, you'd have to think there's little doubt that India will not lose this match, and England will be struggling to get through this with a weak victory. They might get away with a draw, which suits India fine. They've already won the series 2-1. Ash not pretty well knows that he gets something. Look, Ferrari gets wickets everywhere. Like, I don't think there's any real discretion. James Anderson got Pfeiffer. He deserves a lot of accolades, actually. Alistair Cook's got a shame at the moment. He's got a truckload of runs, actually. Absolute truckload of runs. Where's little fellas go? Oh, an Asia test match end in 2.5 days, but then we see a competitive match. Yeah, perhaps Mike Vaughan is hiding under the carpet. I know why. Bummer's warming up. What are you drinking, man? I'm drinking some coffee. Nice coffee. It's my cup. The Bat and Ball in Hambleton, in England. All the players are warming up. They're not far from restarting. been on there for 40 minutes. Never been. If India take 100 runs lead, then I'm sure India was not going to lose. If England get close, I knew total is still 50-50. Yeah, it's all about Bairstow's batting.
We've got a guest joining the show.
It's me there. Me there. Looking, I was about 25 or 26 then. And Arnie, what? I think the front photo that's worth having a look at.
No, there's some other ones.
No, okay.
Yeah, I can't.
All right. So, oh no, we've got this guy with his naked commercials again. What's he doing there? Green maiden ODI. Green maiden ODI 100 comes against New Zealand. I think. Okay, maybe Head took 4 weeks haul, 4-wicket haul. Root took 5. What is this? I know. I agree. What is this? They're 2 bowls of a load of crap. Okay. Johnny Bairstow, an incredible form. There's me in my upturn time with Doyle's. What happened there? That's me. Bit older there, probably about how old have I been? About 37, thereabouts. I don't know what the flowers on the table weren't exactly very exciting, were they? Or as it was picture. So they're showing Bairstow shots all over the joint. He is a superb foam. Aspirin's home. What do you think? How many centuries will Virat make up in this career? Give a little brief explanation. Well, he's on 70 now, and he's after his 71st century. Still got 3 or 4 years, if not up to 5 years of good play. I reckon he'll finish about 99 or something and just miss out on his 100. But a superlative career. That's what I love to see him happen. That's what I love to see. No doubt. Kumar Shanu, absolutely no doubt. Khawaja is right up there. Here's a Queensland batsman. Yeah, he's the Martians. 2 games in Sri Lanka tour. Green winning the match, man, a match single-handedly. First 5 ODI now 1 test. He's pretty good. At such a young age, he's certainly good. You've said it before, Rowan Colley. You've said India versus England, India versus Australia versus England fears. Sorry, club. Australia. We so would fear England. We fear New Zealand. So not New Zealand, India. Kumo, you forget Root and Bairstow leading one score in these years. Yeah, but Root's not opening and Bairstow's not opening. He's talking about, if you're talking about Kumo's comments, he was talking about Khawaja for opening batsman. When will England openers score runs? Well, I think Lees is due. Why are you trolling me? He's not trolling you. Colley's got a few fingers certainly bandaged up there, so they've been off for more than 45 minutes now. Why is they not playing ODI series in Australia against minnows Bangladesh when this like in India play? I don't know. All comes down. It's a long way to Australia. Maybe that whole distance factor is playing in the hands of that not happening. So we are now 43 minutes in the show. India are in the field. Hugging the other saying, let's win this together, guys. Let's go, go, go. Bumrah's talking as captain, of course. Sam, I don't agree with you. Green scores 1, but Khawaja and Carey also score runs in Leipzig. Yeah. Birmingham play the series against New Zealand loading. Well, no, I'll wait and see. Live on Sky Sports, the British Grand Prix coming up later today. And of course, Wimbledon's on as well in England. Test cricket, county cricket, the 100 starting up next month. It's all happening there in England. There are other 2 batters are going back out, both Bairstow and Sam Billings. Sam Hill is not bought. Okay. Yesterday, Pat Cummins said, if we beat India, in India, we will be the world's best test team. What's your opinion? Well, it's a fair comment. If they've beaten Pakistan at home, they're going to probably beat Sri Lanka at home. They've beat India at home. Well, there's not much left. Beating England at our home, so it's a fair call. He probably will be picked in that ODI, I'm pretty sure. But Australia has a 4-match test series in India. It's coming up. So Johnny Bairstow is 91 not out off 113 deliveries, joined by Billings on 7 off runs off 17 overs. Yeah, so clearly Bairstow has played a significant role in his innings for his country. There's Johnny Bairstow in the series 1 and 16, 8 and 136, 162 and 71, and now 91. Last runnings have been superb. Before that, 116 8 wasn't great, but then 136, 162, 71, and 91. That means he scored 3 centuries, possibly 4, in a matter of a short time. We're waiting on Bairstow. Bairstow's not Bairstow, sorry, Bumrah. Doesn't look like Bumrah's actually bowling. Shardul Thakur is coming back on. Aussie played last time. Top 2 teams for T20 World from you. Top 220 T20. Australia's not there. I don't think. Maybe Australia and England. Ben McDermott, Cameron Green, Josh Inglis, Sam Heasland should play against New Zealand. Oh, there you go. I'm heading for bed. Good night. It's 10:30, Paul. It's not that late. Someone's just hit the ball over the ground, and there it is. Their Bairstow immediately hits 4. He's moved to 95. There he is. 6 for 204. Kumar Sanu, Australia played 5 matches of ODIs against Sri Lanka a few days back, and they played 3 ODIs against Pakistan in March. Yes, they did. Bairstow, especially leg sides, clipping things. Oh, that was a beautiful drive. Bairstow's unstoppable at the moment. Mahanti took about Australia. Okay, there you go. So this match, 95, Lords 93, Mahali 89, Edgbaston 17, Lords 57. India high scores. He hasn't got a century. He's got 95, 83, 95, 93, 80, and then a few others. He's got nothing. Triple figures, yep. Good ball. Good ball to bowl to a man in such form. Oh, that took off. Pretty bland field, Edgbaston. It's not as big a set of stands you'd like. What should Vera do to come into form? Just not think too much. Let's be honest, just not think too much. Jasprit Bumrah has got 3 for 55 off his 15 overs. He's been relatively inexpensive. Billings is into the action now. He's at a 4. Clipped it down a fine leg. Oops. Well played. Oh, here we go. That's a rare photo of my sister with my dad. That I'm very sad them dance together. Yeah, that's my mum. That's Uncle Horst and Auntie Karen. And there's me. Look, there's a photo. Where'd you get these from? That's an extremely rare photo. I've rarely seen a photo with my dad, but like that. That's very rare. Again, that's my sister.
He's actually a pretty good-looking bloke.
Yeah. That's not the same one, is it? No, it's not. That'll be That'll be what year was that? Okay, now, here we got the shop.
Yeah, I think that might be.
Are there two hands there or one hand? Is it a hand?
Yeah, that's another hand. That could be.
There's
Yeah.
one.
Could be one.
Uncle Horst. He was quite a character, quite a drinker actually too.
Yeah, there's a shit ton more.
What year was that?
That's not even. You want the whole thing?
Yeah, I do remember these photos, of course. All right. It's nice to chat with you. I come with the full episode and then you quick daily. You'll have too many audience tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Someone has come. So I don't play out the. Yes, we do. Please, you come live per day. I will try to come. I will try to come. I'm meant to have more people on here, but we're back to the play now, as you know. And Bairstow is on 96 now, with of course Billings on 16 on that. So yeah, well, I certainly will, guys. Will you follow my show? And I'll come on, darling. All right. I have mouths because of my mother, as you know. So we'll keep going today. Okay, well, where are you going, guys? You can watch some Bournemouth bowling quite well, but at least that was a reasonable shot. There we go. All right, thanks. All right, so some interesting photos there. This is my father with the man on the. My father, no, the other side there. My father there, and my sister there in the background, and Uncle Horst. What year was that? Still don't know the year. Okay. Aspirants up. Every YouTuber these days take away Indian cricket, so please don't change your policy. You should talk about world cricket, not just Indian cricket. So I am talking about world cricket. You know that. Same as my Australian 2024 Border Gavaskar 11. Oh my God! Is this Himanshu Rahela again? Henry Hunt, Matt Renshaw, Steve Smith, Cameron Green, Travis Head, Jason saying yes, I agree with that one. Alex Carey, Cummins Stark, Nathan Lowe, Hazelwood. Well, I don't want to see. Yeah, there's some great talent there. Henry Hunt and Matt Renshaw, I agree with that. Steve Smith probably won't be there. Cam Green will be. Travis said, no, I don't think he should be. Jason Zaggers will be getting higher. Kerry Cummins, yeah, that's interesting. Let's just see if that actually remind me of that one later. Okay. What do we got here? Remind me of that team line. I should take a photograph of that, shouldn't I? All right. Similar, you dropped Marnus Labuschagne, Khawaja and Warner. Yeah, Khawaja probably shouldn't have dropped. I'm not. You sure you're not? That's not good. I wanted to have 40 out in test matches. Marnus Labuschagne, 47. Well, I would. The pastures, I wouldn't get too excited, but it is a bit further down the track. So, oh, I know that photos. Yeah, I remember the shop there. My mum and dad. Lots of my mum and dad there. That's interesting. Look at the front of the shop there. That would have been 68. I think that photograph.
Oh my!
What? I remember that shot.
You remember? You've never seen this one.
I remember that shot. That was. I don't know where.
That's all of you. That's very rare to have all of you there.
Yeah, that is quite rare actually. Well, there's no father shot.
Oh, yeah, true. Wow, that would be the rarest.
Well, I broke my left arm, so I would have been.
Oh wow!
I would have been 14 then.
Oh, that's a shock.
What?
That's a nice. Wow.
What's so exciting about that shot?
I don't know. That's the shop.
Yeah, no, I told you the shot. You've been there.
Yeah.
I'm getting bored. But I remember that one. That was the mascot. All right, let's get back to the cricket, shall we? Drop Stark in 24 bowling is good fun. Okay. Masters Quadrant want to retire quick. We'll wait and see. Masters best record in England, average over 50 in England. Yeah. Look, I'm not a big fan of Labuschagne or Head, for that matter. I'm being really honest with you. I'm not really cocky about either at the moment. So I'll have to wait and see how they go. I don't think I'm a bit hard maybe, but that's my thoughts. You can't be excited about every player. There's a comment about my mother being a beautiful lady. She certainly was. I think Harry Hunt and Bryce Street. Yeah. What is with these players? They're not even there yet. They're just getting a bit excited about players. They're not even there yet. Why did I through with it? 269. Could do a lot better than that, quite seriously. Don't worry. Mars is going through a bad patch at the moment, and deservedly so. Wait and see. Jason Sanger wouldn't hang up and take away next. I really, really hope for Jason Sanger to do it. I really, really do. I talk him up every time because he deserves it. He really does. He is something special. Ralph Jensen's just joined us. Is it about time that Virat Kohli retires, or will he wait till he gets dropped? Pretty good question. I don't think he'll be dropped. He'll probably might be given a little bit of a, how's your father, and told to consider things, but no, I don't think he'll be dropped as such. So we should be sharing alike here. Henry Hunt, yes, but Jason Sanger, no, he's struggling short. Dabash's leave Jason Sanger alone. He's worthy of being in the Australian side. He's around the under-19 captain, scored centuries against every single side, England, New Zealand, Pakistan. Give him a go, because he doesn't have to be formed necessarily and shield cricket to show his ability to handle Test cricket. Mark my words. I reckon he'll be in there before too long. Then you'll all be regretting you knocked him. All right? Lots of comments, but not much in the way of action here. Shapali, Norman Jason Sanger needs to score runs and shield cricket. If he can't, I don't see it. But actually, you see, sometimes there are players who are ready-made for Test cricket, who can handle it very well, and quite frankly, will wipe the floor clean of the other players. And he's one of them. His form may not warrant it at the moment, but yeah, I don't think you can say that about his ability in the top way. So Bairstow it was his 11th Test century, and he's had matches third this summer. He had a great summer so far. 11 set Bairstow's on 100, Billings is on 20. There you go. Bairstow's 100, scores 6 for 227 over 48. So they've obviously chuffed along there quite a bit. And Bairstow another century. There you go. Brilliant. Be very content with that, won't he? Breathing very heavily, by the way. It was Johnny Bairstow obviously he's had a fairly heavy little period here. Oops. Sam Billings has been cleaned up there, but he's still out on that 20. Yes, putting the ball through the point region there, and he's ecstatic. He picked up his runs, reaching 100, and Feinstein with a lovely 4. There he is. He's bouncing up and down. Like yet again, Bairstow has done it again, and he's now scored 11 Test centuries. Something that Virat Kohli would like to score his 71st. Why England comparing flat pitches to something? That's not a flat pitch. Pretty good, which is just batter's have been doing better than normal. New Zealand, Darren Mitchell scored 550 runs in just 3 matches. You're right. He looked superb, as a matter of fact. Johnny Bairstow, he's actually gone past Ben Stokes in the Test run scores. Oh, I'll tell you what. One was beating, bowling 142 Ks there, and Billings has beaten yet again. They're only in the 49th over at 6 for 227. He's sitting on his day. He's got plenty of time to bat. So 6 for 227, up to 48.3. Let's wait and see. Bairstow, 100. Billings, 20. Billings stays with Bairstow. We could see them score more than 300. Was slightly faster, 144 kilometres per hour from Bunma. Christopher, all these photos, you're going to take them back? More time as me, sort of kid. Johnny can open. Johnny Bairstow can open. Well, it might be. Is it from the same album though?
Yes.
What was it? Or they from an envelope? What were they from?
Yeah, all from an envelope.
Oh, I remember those photos. Norman Walsh and Cummins looks strong, but they can beat any team at home. Well, it's just a combination of both Cummins' ability to bring the team together, and the Blakes are playing well. All the ball off Billings bat again, an edge off landing in front of Shreyas Iyer, and both Coley and Punt patting on the back. That is Punt patting Iyer on the back. So Best is 100. Paul's up in the air quite a bit, but he's played some great shots. 14 fours and 2 sixes. Worthy of his 100. Clap, clap, clap. Well done. Point is, he's got to go on with it now because his team simply haven't got enough runs. It's still 180 or thereabouts adrift. There's only a handful of wickets left, so they really need Bairstow to hang around with Billings and bat together, because then you'll have people like, well, they got the bowlers of Anderson, Broad, and Leach. Well, they're Leach can hang around as well. We know that. Broad did pretty well in the previous match. Probably trying to make up for his efforts when he bowled and got hit for 35 off one over by Bumrah. Bukowski, I don't think he's going to make it to Barsters. I don't think he's going to make it. So Pat Cummins hasn't lost any matches since Pat Heroics and Gabba, and hope they continue. Well, it's true. It'll be interesting to see how they go against India and India. They're doing well against Sri Lanka at the moment. Billings is certainly taking most of the stride. Get best as 101. And Billings on 20. Tuckle into his over here, 1 for 42. Been relatively expensive, has Tuckle. Bumrah bowls 17. Sharmi 18. Siraj only 8. And Tuckle into his 7th. Oh my God, Bairstow's backing up way too much. Yeah, so not happy with Billings running there, a bit of a shake of the head. I don't think he was totally taken. Maybe he's just calmed down a bit. You don't run quickly and then stop. Yeah, England are finding it back at the moment, and they're 6 for 229, but they still are 180 plus in arrears. 187 actually, in arrears, like it is. Oops, that was the leading edge, and out of the reach of Jasprit Bumrah by a touch there. Tucker was not happy with that. It was definitely a mistimed shot. Ball was mistimed, no doubt. I didn't quite want it to go there, and it's done enough to go over the head of Bumrah by ever so just. Missed catch yet. A 230 on the taking quick single there. That's well run. Six for 232. The pitch looks flat. Well, not really. There's some bad shots being played. Look, there's sufficient in it. Our wicket's falling. Anderson's got 5 for it, and Bumrah's got 3 for it. Can't be completely flat. The weather's certainly making it interesting as well because it's stop and start in a bit of water. It's only the 50th over of the match, and they've scored 232. Best on 101, Billings 23. So we had Jadays with 100 and obviously Punt leading the way. That's why they got 400. So Bears at least 50 more. And if the Billings get 100, then we might be in position to say the game's close, score-wise. Pajaro is pretty ordinary, I thought. It shows I also need to get these out together a bit more. Yes, that's looking at his bat. He's been a little bit quiet this over. I think Bumrah's got his measure a bit this over. Not in total presence of the game, of course. Well, Chris Vernon making comments saying some form from Bairstow. Well, come on and talk about it. Your England side need to show a bit more form, in all honesty. City listings there. Not sure what's going on here. Wait and see. Just want to catch up on a few things here. It does look like Bairstow's really showing some true form here. There is definitely a purple patch. Definitely a purple patch. And should be deemed as such. I'll just see how we're going time-wise because we seem to be floundering a little bit there. Okay. So we are looking at a situation where England have still a bit to do before they can see themselves out of any woods. With 235, the score still trailing by 181. 181, that way. There it is. There's 102, Billings 23, Travel 101, Bummer there, Bell, he's the danger. Bairstow seems a little bit more hurried when he's playing the shots, so okay, that's certainly been the case. All right, guys, I can't see much point in continuing. We haven't got much to go here. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Bairstow, fine 102. Billings, good support in 23. The Travel 181. Still a long way to go. 6 for 235. They need to get 416 to match the Indian score. Be hard done. Well, and quite frankly, this is now into the third day's play. First, second, this is the third day's play, so really not a lot of time for victory. Both teams at the bat again. And there's only 2 days to go, so you would think that, yeah, the longer England bat, the more likely a draw is to be the case, I would say. Yes, it's been a little bit quiet this post-lunch break. Well, quiet over. 143 Ks for the volume. Bairstow now on 102. Billings on 23. The score is 6 for 235. Johannesburg has got played 8 matches in this year. 15 innings, runs at 876, average is 73, 150 and 500s. Best 162. So he's hit 5 centuries in this year already. Pretty good going, actually. There's very much a Yorker there. Squeeze here. I was off his legs too, so there was no suspicion of a bat in that shot. No suspicion whatsoever. 6 for 236. Bairstow 102. Billings on 23. England again 6 for 236. 180 now behind the Indian score. That's a long way to go when they've only got 4 wickets left. Looking for the single every ball, but they're not getting any. These days talking about his gloves, I think. Very, very frustrating. England must really rue. Well, they probably overestimated what yeah. Hard to judge. Pitch doesn't look flat. It's not flat. The pitch is not flat. Please don't say that. But was slow for me. Yeah. Yeah. No wickets to fall, so they're basically still doing it. They're probably bringing in Jadeja to bowl. I think this is the first time in the Test match, actually. He's 33 years of age. He's played 60 Test matches with 242 wickets. Very handy. 10-5 for wickets. And yeah, he certainly bowled well. Bowled one for the turnover in the match. Still, after 60 Test matches, he's still got a long way to go, but he's bowling very capably for his tally. Today's doing his great lock of hair there and nice headband. And let's one over at Juday's and see how he goes, and then we'll cut off for the day, huh? Oh, geez, that was pretty close. My God, that was close. Pretty plumb to me. And the other wants this over in its entirety, right? Bairstow sneaks a single there. Rather sloppy little attempted run. Let's see. So, guys, I think I'm going to be calling a quick stop for this. We've got still a long way to go. The match is the 52nd over of the England batting score of 6 for 237. Bairstow 103, Billings 23. Jadeja in his first over of the innings for the Test match. Billings facing it now. Sam Billings has been pretty capable. He needs to score runs to keep Ben Folks out. Bowling well to Jadeja. Very compact. And that's it there, guys. We need to be able to see Jadeja in full force, and he's proving to be quite tidy there with his bowling, as we all know he can be. Certainly. What do we got here? Painful. Bloody that. Not much in the way of updates in this game. Fairly mundane at the moment, fairly tedious, but yet needed. Will they have one thing get out of this? So Bumrah's back on. That's always interesting. Yeah, so again, nudges a single. In fact, he might get more than one. Might get two here. Today's with a fill that looks like they come back for two, has he? England now 6 for 239 in the 53rd over, and the treble 177. It's certainly getting closer, but it's still far away to worry them. Bairstow is on 105, Billings on 23. Bumrah into his 15th over, and he's 3 for 68. So Bumrah has no success. He's certainly quickening it up, and Bairstow's not able to play so fluently. The man 105 not out. Done very well. He's a good batter. It's proven to be excellent. $53rd over, in fact. 239 for 6 with Bairstow on 105 and Billings on 23. Oh, not quite there. Good fullish delivery. Certainly disturbed Bairstow, someone trailing by 177. Still enough to worry them, certainly. Still enough to worry them. See, boom, I was meant to finish a bit earlier. I'm still going. Give Bairstow another 2 deliveries from Bumrah, and if he can survive that, I might just allow the 53rd over to close without me being on commentary. He's from the full, but wasn't in front. They're going to call the review, are they? There he is, Bairstow, Bumrah's captain, and he bowled the delivery. He's calling himself. Bit of a danger to be a bit biased about that, I would argue. Let's look here. Might have pleasure with him. Leg side for my liking. Promise to see the end of this over. We'll see. Landing around here. 1 ball left after this. Yeah, missing. Not missing. Yeah, it was close. It was certainly close, worthy of the appeal. Kettleborough is now just saying it wasn't that. One ball is in this 53rd over from 53rd over of the innings. And the Bumrah who's bowling it. Let's see, here we go. And there it is defensively. Knocked back. All right, guys. Talk to me very soon. We'll talk more tomorrow again. Probably a lunchtime session, if not a post or preview as well.